Yeah, that's
And, you
probably a
know,
great lead in to our last story, right? So
exactly.
in the past week, we saw that LinkedIn, subsidiary of Microsoft, of course, they have taken an extra step in their terms and conditions to state that, of course, they're using generative AI, as we all know, in a variety of ways. But they're saying not only are they not responsible for any misleading or bad generative AI content that they create, but it is actually your fault if you then use that content for any reason and broadcast it, and it is seen as bad or inaccurate or illegal or anything else. So now the onus is definitely on you to figure out whether your generative AI outputs are good or not. And frankly, I'm expecting this to become a more common trait that goes across other terms and conditions.
Oh, well, I mean, we've seen the spate recently of I think what Disney had their clause. I forgot what there was. It was, it had nothing to do with AI, but this lawsuit that they try to say, well, the terms and conditions. I mean, there's clearly that side, but I completely agree with you. We're gonna see massive disclaimers everywhere for this very reason. It is not trustworthy. I mean, it is not to the point that you should certainly not just rely on it to say whatever it spits out is correct. And so in many contexts, that's perfectly fine, but it is a definitive issue. Nothing I've seen is really it's gotten better, but nothing's fixed it. And I don't think anything ever will, frankly, short of combining with other forms of AI that are more controlled. So I think it is interesting. What I found most comical though was just the blatant tone of it. It was just like there was no latitude. It was like, hey, this is, we wash our hands of it. And if you had any question of how to separate the hype from reality, this should do it for you. That this is when attorneys get involved and this is what they say, that's your reality.
Yes. I, so I'll just read this language really quickly because I found it. I agree with you that the language is so straightforward. Like that, by using the services, you may interact with features that we offer that automate content generation for you. The content that is generated might be inaccurate, incomplete, delayed, misleading, or not suitable for your purposes. Please review and edit such content before sharing with others. Onus on you on editing that before you go to others. Like all content you share on our services, you are responsible for ensuring it complies with our professional community policies, including not sharing misleading information. Even if we give you the misleading information, you then have to do the homework to make sure that before you send it back to us, even though we gave it to you, it's like,
Exactly, exactly.
it's like
And
you
and
have
the
been
reality is
warned.
you've been warned. And look at here's the big takeaway. If you're a CIO, you look at this, and if you have any doubts, and I hope you don't by now, but if you have, especially if you're listening and watching our show every week, if you have any doubts about whether or not you can take this information to the bankers, you just release it into the wild. This should completely, remove any doubt whatsoever. Because if LinkedIn could make a statement that says, if we produce it, you can trust it, they would make that statement. It would be a massive differentiator. And they can't, and they're not going to. And we all know it. And so it's I agree. I think we're going to see this more and more. And the reality is the onus was always on you. This is going to be the equivalent of the dummy tags on every piece of product that we get. Do not suspend your baby from this thing. I mean, I have a toddler, and the warning labels are just flipping hilarious. It's like,
Don't stick
really,
your
do I
head in a
need you to?
plastic bag.
Yeah, it's like,
Yes.
okay. So, that's what this is, and we're going to see more of it. But buyer beware, because it's all on you.
Mm-hmm. All right, caveat emptor.